Way to go, University of Missouri. We did it. It's a victory for all of us. Did you guys hear about what happened? All right, University of Missouri, the students there, the black students, have been enduring racial prejudice so badly that they began to protest. It is so bad there that the racist students were actually putting up Confederate flags. They were sending out pamphlets with racial epithets. They were using jokes right out loud about niggers, black people, coons, calling us all types of names. The University of Missouri president was not doing anything about it. Tim Wolf, there was many complaints. He didn't do anything, nor did the chancellor, R. Bowen Lufton. And because of that, the black students got together. Not only the black students, most of the football team are predominantly black, got together, along with white students who were outraged as well about the racial problems that are going on that campus, the prejudice, the name calling, the out blatant racism to students. Whites that are not prejudiced and felt like it was an atrocity that this was happening all got together along with the coach of the football team at University of Michigan and decided that they were going to actually walk away from the school. The football players were not going to play. If the football players do not play, there was $1 million fine going to be at the school, and because of all the protesting, they won. The president, Tim Wolf, resigned as was asked to do, and so was R. Bowen Lofton, the chancellor. Under all the pressure for all these racial incidents, the students, those students, black and white, the coach of the football team, the players of the team, they won. And this is a victory for many of us. Most of the schools across this nation there are many racially prejudiced incidents that happen, and there's nothing done about it. And now you see, if you stick together, and what also happens is how you get people is with money. This is a capitalistic society, and when you start talking about the school was going to be fined $1 million if those players didn't play. So you see what happens? Money talk, bullshit walks. The same thing happened back in the 60s when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was getting a boycott for the buses and the transportations in Alabama because they wanted all black people to sit in the back of the bus. And Martin Luther King said, don't just protest, you got to hit them in the pockets. And hitting them in the pockets was with Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was basically drank by most black people, and they actually stopped drinking Coca-Cola. They stopped buying white products and was bringing the economy down. And then we were able to ride the front of the bus. It just wasn't Rosa Parks who started it. And as a matter of fact, if you read your history, Rosa Parks was not the first person to refuse to give up her seat. She was the first person that it was actually put in the public eye for it, and was given that title of being the first person. But she actually was not the first person. You know, that's what I want to talk about too, like the holidays right now. You know, we are so stuck on the traditions of the slavery of our past that we are still carrying it on, and it's really ridiculous. Thanksgiving was created because pilgrims, white people who came from other countries, settled and took over the Indians' land, gave them smallpox, with blankets with smallpox, gave them liquor to make them be docile, and took all of their land. And the pilgrims were thanking themselves and killing the turkeys and eating and celebrating the fact that they had gotten rid of the Indians, took all their land. They were the ones that were celebrating. And then those white people, as we are slaves, they're up in the house celebrating this tradition every year. And so then we're down in the slave quarters on the plantations, and we celebrating with them and thinking that this is a celebration for all, and it's not. This was an atrocity that was done to the Indian. This is a day, and we go out and buy turkeys, dressing, macaroni and cheese, greens, all the food that's unhealthy for you in the first place, and eat it and give thanks. And what are you really giving thanks for? You're celebrating a day that hurt and destroyed the Indians who owned this land. If you want to have a celebrations of your family, then find another day. You can celebrate your family anytime. In New York, I have Soul Food Sundays. Every first Sunday of every month, I invited family, friends, anybody could come over and eat and drink, and we celebrated our friendships and the things that we've done and our accomplishments and our goals. But you know, you don't celebrate that day. That day is a day that is celebrated where you're spending all of your money. You're trying to get money together for turkey and dressing and macaroni and cheese and all the stuff that's going to give you diabetes. And it's not even a day that you should be celebrating. If you want to celebrate and be thankful on your own day. The same with Christmas. Come on. Who's making all the money on Christmas? You're spending all of your money and you're making rich people richer. You're making Mr. and Mrs. Macy's richer. You're making Mr. and Mrs. Toys R Us richer. These companies are owned by white folks. And you're taking all of your hard-earned money and you're giving it to them. You're already getting it from them when you work. And then you're giving it right back to them. So it stays in their community, the money continuously circles in their community, and that's how they continuously stay rich. We need to get out. Halloween, how are we celebrating Halloween? Unless you're a Satan lover, that's a day that now they're trying to make it like, you just dress up. But it's a day that they do devilish things. They even call it Devil Day. Why are we as black people still stuck on these holidays that are made up? Christmas Day, Jesus Christ, who was a man, he was a human being, a man who walked this earth, did not die on December 25th. Was not born on December 25th. Okay? He wasn't born that day because he couldn't have been in a manger. It would have been cold. It's cold in Jerusalem in the wintertime. It's not true. It's not true. You have to learn to read. You have to get some education and then travel. Travel to Africa. Learn your real history because the real books are there. The real knowledge is there. But see here, crossing over the waters, the books are rewritten. The Bible was rewritten. The first Bible was the Torah. The Torah had been tampered with. That's how the Quran came about. Then the Christianity came about. And the Christians, the missionaries, they were going over to all these different countries, just imposing their religion on other people to keep them docile too. It's the same